Welcome, everybody, back to the For Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability community. I know I have had a conversation with many of you who are not busy moms, but you're busy women, and that is why you are here. So, yes, this group is branded for busy moms, but really, if you're a busy woman who just feels like putting themselves first as a priority has kind of been a struggle here and there, or just really for the last couple of years, you are in the right place. So, welcome. It is Thursday, July 23rd, and it's the day before the 4th of July. And I know a lot of us are starting to wrap up our weeks, kind of get things all into place so that we can go and celebrate with friends, family, food, drinks all this weekend. We're supposed to have some beautiful weather here in Michigan. So, today, we're going to be talking about how you can sip smart and still stay on track with your health. So, we're going to be doing a podcast. I believe it comes out next Thursday. I just recorded it, diving deeper into alcohol because we had somebody on last fall to talk about alcohol and the gray area of drinking and all of that. But I also know there's a lot of you who are going to continue to drink, such as myself. And I want you to make sure you've got all the tools necessary to set yourself up for success and for you to stay on track. Today, we're going to talk about just a few tips that you can implement this weekend, some reminders as we go into the holiday weekend that I feel like we always need to hear, no matter how many times you've heard me say it. They're always good reminders. And then I'm going to share some of my favorite drinks, cocktails, beer that I go to on the weekends or when I'm consuming that tend to be a little less indulging, but still satisfy what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to give you some different alternatives as well. So, if you are here and you are tuning in, please drop 4th of July in the comments and let me know you are here. I am super excited. So, as you are still trickling in, I'm going to give some updates. So, a few little updates. Our summer strength training bootcamp series one, next week is the last week of session one. Session two then starts on July 16th. That's Wednesday nights from 5:30 to 6:15 in person at Acme Home Exteriors. There is still time to sign up for session two. You get a savings when you sign up for all 6 weeks instead of just doing drop in. You also get accountability. It's a great group of women that are showing up. I believe we have 14 people signed up for session two now as well, which is super awesome. We also purchased a few TRXs. So session two is going to involve some resistance bands and mini bands and weights that you bring, as well as some TRXs that I have purchased for the space. So really excited about that. Also, to say that we are going to continue into the fall for a third session. So we're just going to kind of keep going. People have requested. So if you're like, summer wasn't a good time, but I want to try fall, be on the lookout. That link will be coming up soon. Session two, if you want the information, just drop strength in the comments below, and I will make sure to get you that link. I will also just put it up above and in YouTube because this recording does end up in YouTube after it's live. Because remember, Facebook takes it away after 30 days. So if you're watching us on YouTube, say hello in the comments. Let me know you're there, and check the description for all of the links that I'm talking about. So, another update. Back in January, I ran a 30-day step challenge and it has been back and I've brought it back by popular request. And so the goal is to have a minimum of 10 people. We currently have 5 people signed up. You have till next Friday, July 10th, to officially Venmo me the money and get signed up. From there, I will send you over the form to do intake and all of that. If you're like, Morgan, I did the challenge last time. What's new? Nothing's new other than the $25 buy in. It's the only thing that changed. If you're like, I've never heard of it, drop steps in the comments and I will give you the details. I've got a whole sheet breaking down exactly what you're going to do, the benefits, like everything you would possibly need to know is in this sheet. So if you are interested in the step challenge, that starts on July 13th, but you have to be signed up by July 10th. Okay. Enough housekeeping things. That's kind of why you're here. Really, you're here to figure out how you can have drinks this weekend without feeling like crud. Let's be honest. So, I took so many great notes because I love this conversation because so often we think we have to give up the things we enjoy to hit our goals. And if you are somebody who is looking to be a bodybuilder and to have a physique like that, then yes, there is going to have to be some restriction in that. But 98% of us in this community, and I'm saying 98 because there is a small percentage, 98% of us just want to feel our best, love our life, feel good, be able to fit into our clothes, and still be able to enjoy the food and the drinks that we love. So let's figure out how to do that. So, before we get into my favorite drinks and the actual cocktail portion, let's talk about tips when it comes to drinking. So, number one thing, when you are out and about, don't get me wrong, I love a daiquiri, I love a pina colada, I love a mudslide, I love a margarita, but those are filled with a ton of extra sugars. So if you are somebody who's like, I only like big sugary drinks, I do challenge you to try some of the things I mentioned today to see if you can bring some of that sugar down so that one, we're not just consuming empty calories of alcohol, but we are also not trying to consume empty calories of sugar. So what I typically do, whether it's on a weekend like this weekend or I'm in Cancun at a resort, I usually will start with like that pina colada because it's just a great way to start. But then after that, I switch to something that you can use the term skinny, which essentially just means they take the sugar out of it. They take the simple syrup out of the drink, or they use actual fresh squeezed lemon and lime to make it happen. And honestly, I think it tastes better. Personally, all that sugary stuff, if you're not used to consuming sugar on a daily basis and the only time you consume it is when you are drinking, it's going to taste really sweet. There's going to be better options that actually make it taste a little bit better personally. So look for low calorie and low sugary drinks. This can be in beers, seltzers, cocktails, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Number two, soda water and fresh fruit is going to be your best friend. If you are trying to find the best thing, whether you are trying to mix gin, tequila, vodka, I don't recommend whiskey. I just don't drink enough whiskey or scotch or anything like that. I'm thinking the lighter liquors, rum, things like that, like white rum. Um, Soda water pairs really good. There's 0 calories in it. It's also a little bit hydrating. It's got that bubbly. And then I usually will like muddle the crap out of lemons, limes, oranges, sometimes strawberries, blueberries. Depends on what type of drink I'm trying to make. Skinny mojitos are one of my favorite because, like I said, it's mint, lime, soda water, rum. And because I call it skinny, they pull the simple syrup out of it. If I try a drink and I'm like, hey, make it skinny and it tastes terrible, and I'm like, okay, I don't want the full because I know how much they typically put in sugar wise. What I do is I just say, hey, can you put like half the amount? And like I try to find that ratio. Same thing like if you're going to get Big B. Like a lot of times in those lattes, they'll put 5 or 6 pumps. Say, hey, can I have 2 pumps? Like literally just ask for less pumps and they will give it to you. And you're still going to have a delicious latte without it being super sugary and having a bunch of those empty calories. I know we're talking alcohol, but I did feel the need to go over to Big B there. Didn't mean to throw them under the bus, but like their lattes are good, but they have a ton of pumps of that sugar. So if you can just say, hey, how many pumps is usually in that? Well, 4. Can I have 2? Like split it in half and see how you like it. Um, the other thing that I see people do when it comes to making drinks, which is super great, is they get those little Mio squeezy things, where like, you know what I'm talking about. It's like this big and it's like a colorful flavored thing, and you just kind of squeeze in your water. People do that all the time with their soda water. So if you're like, I actually want flavor, get some of those Mios, throw it in your purse. I see people at the bar all the time that get that and are like, I just want something a little extra flavorful. Most of those have 0 calories or very little calories and sugar to begin with. Um, Another thing we can do is if you're looking for vodka per specifically, I should say, is if you're like, I like a vodka soda with lemon lime, but I'm kind of tired of it. I want to spice it up. I don't want to add a bunch of sugar. I don't want this like fancy thing. What do I do? Switch to flavored vodka. Like I love a blueberry vodka with soda water. Like it just tastes so good and refreshing. So there are four. No, there's 3 brands that are technically sugar-free vodka options. Absolute, Smirnoff, and Kettle One botanicals. And if you've never had the botanicals, they have like a peach one and it's really good. So test it out. You don't have to buy a full fifth if you're going out. Go, so many stores, so many liquor stores have pints or even little shooters of it. So you can kind of test it out and see like, oh, what do I like? Because a lot of times we go for just the normal because it's easy and everybody can drink it and it's easy to share. But like if you're just making it to make it and you're not really enjoying it, like let's figure out how you can actually enjoy this thing that we are having that really has no health benefits. Because you're going to hear next week on the podcast, alcohol has absolutely zero health benefits. So when we are doing it, let's at least try to think about how we can be as conscious as possible to not overindulge. So, alcohol aside, things this weekend I want you to remember. Just because you have a big barbecue at dinner time, I do not want you skipping breakfast or lunch or your snacks throughout your day. Does not mean I need you eating the same quantity at each of those, but I need you eating something. This whole wait till the end of the day to eat to then overeat and overindulge does not work. We've learned this. So if you know you have things going on this weekend, keep your routine. Continue to eat breakfast, continue to eat lunch. Continue to get your balanced meals in. The other thing to think about is if you've got the barbecue dinner going on and you're like, well, we're on the boat, grab a veggie tray, grab some pretzels and hummus, get some snacks that are healthier. Yes, I love a bag of chips. Absolutely love a bag of chips. But I also know that for me, I need to grab a fruit tray and a veggie tray. And yes, I could bring it all home and cut it and make it my own. I don't want to do that. Personally, I want to be able to go buy it, put it in the cooler, know that it's not going to get all squishy because it's actually in a hard container, and I can just do that. So for me personally, when I go to the lake, I always make sure to take my own veggies, take my own fruit, take my own pretzels and hummus. I always throw beef sticks in as well because I want to be able to have access to foods that make me feel good throughout the day so that we get to the end of the day and we have the hot dogs, burgers, chips, potato salad, all of that, then I'm not starving and I don't make this massive plate and I overeat and then I'm like, what the hell did I just do? So make sure to eat throughout your day. The other thing I need you to remember is if you are going to start drinking, so we are going to the lake this weekend, we are going to be on the water. I have my 32 ouncer and I'm going to pack my big 1 gallon jug of water and I'm just going to put it on the boat and I'm going to keep this with me. And my goal is before I even start drinking for the day, I need to finish at least one of these. So if that means we're going out on the boat at noon, I need to finish one of these before noon. If we don't start drinking till later, then I'm going to try to get two in, things like that. I need to make sure I stay hydrated because we all have really good intentions of I'm going to drink water, I'm going to drink a drink, I'm going to drink water, I'm going to drink a drink. It doesn't always work out because we just kind of get in the habit, we get in the socialization of all of it, and we just end up with the alcoholic beverage the whole time. So keep that in mind. Drink your water. Do not skip meals. Keep your routine. The final thing I'm going to say here as a little reminder for this weekend is move your body. Even if that means getting up and stretching for 10 minutes before your day gets started. If that means taking a walk midday, if that means doing a little AMRAP, it doesn't have to be your full hour workout. You don't have to get sweaty. You can literally say, I'm just going to go walk down the street and come back. Intentionally move your body every single day because it's going to help one, make your joints feel less achy and your muscles feel less achy, but you're also going to feel better and you're going to feel more confident in your swimsuit. Because if we drink and we eat like crap and then we put on that swimsuit for the second day, we all know what that feeling's like. So just move your body, give your body what it needs. What that's going to do is it's going to say, hey, thank you. I know we're doing things that like I don't really like, but like it's making you happy. Okay, thank you for doing things that make me happy. You're balancing each other out. Okay, so those are some of the tips that I like to share. And like I said, we're going to dive more into it next week. There's still so much summer left. So don't worry if you're like, oh, this is 4th of July weekend. Why'd she not release the episode sooner? There's plenty of summer left for you to use them because really you can use them all year round. So, things that we are going to talk about next. My favorite low calorie drinks. So, my absolute favorite, and some of you may have opinions on this if you are big beer people, but Michelob Ultras are my absolute favorite. It's the skinny can. I love it in a glass bottle. It's refreshing. I actually think it tastes good. It's also only 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. So, right there, and they advertise it as the fitness beer. I always knew it as like the mom beer. I'm going to be honest, I just really enjoy it. And the way they market it makes me like it even more personally. But Michelob Ultra is going to be one of the most low the one of the best low calories, low carb beers that you can drink if you are a beer drinker on the water. The next one that you can do is either a Corona Premier, which is 90 calories and 2.6 carbs, or a Miller Lite, which is 96, 3.2 grams of carbs. So if you are looking for a light beer and you're like, I just don't want something heavy, I want something that's easy to drink, that still tastes good, Corona obviously has its own type of taste. Miller Lite has its own. All beer has its own type of flavor. Michelob Ultra is my favorite. That's the one I always go to. But those are three really good beer options that if you're trying to find something a little lighter, maybe you're typically like a normal beer drinker and not a light beer drinker, try a light beer this weekend, see how you like it, see if it fulfills what you're looking for it to fulfill. My second new favorite on the boat in the summer in the sunshine drink is a long drink. So long drinks are essentially like seltzers, like Truly and White Claw, but they are gin based. So I like the sugar-free original. Some people get headaches when they have fake sugar or aspartame. White Claws and Trulies absolutely do that to me. Long drink doesn't. So they have sugar free and non sugar free. Their non sugar free has, I think, four or five different flavors, and their sugar free, I think, now has a couple different flavors. I just do the original, and that's 99 calories and 0 grams of sugar. So staying under 100 calories per drink. Calories add up really quickly when we consume alcohol. I don't want you to think about that this weekend. I just want you to be aware of that daiquiri, all of that stuff in there, if you're having multiple of those, just how many empty calories we're just consuming mindlessly. I don't need you to stop drinking them, but I just need you to be mindful. That's all we're doing here is being mindful and helping to support our body as we're doing something that our body doesn't like, but our brain and the rest of us actually enjoy. My next three favorites are just a normal gin and soda with lemon and lime. I've gotten into gin recently and I just really enjoy it. It's about 95 to 100 calories, 0 grams of sugar. Vodka with soda, lemon and lime, or a flavored vodka is going to fall 100 to 110 calories, 0 grams of sugar. So once again, trying to only let the calories come from that alcohol portion and trying to find mixies. And wow, that really takes me back to college days. Trying to find mixers that actually like make it taste good, but don't add a lot of extra emptiness. And then the last one that I have liked recently is the Spindrift Spiked. I don't know if you've tried those. I have not actually bought those personally. A friend of mine has them, and every once in a while I'll have one, and they're just really good. They're really flavorful. They're not super carbonated. They come in a can, that skinny can, and those are 82 to 95 calories depending on your flavor with 1 gram of sugar. So once again, staying on that low side, those are my favorite. So if you're looking for something new, I recommend those. If you're like, I've tried all those, Morgan, what else do you got? I have a few more for you. So, skinny margarita, skinny mojito, like I mentioned in the beginning, all that's going to do is they're going to either give you fresh squeezed lemon, lime, soda water, all of that to make that margarita. For that mojito, they're just going to take that simple syrup out of it. You can really easy look up recipes. Say, I'm looking for a simple, what do I usually type? I usually type simple sugar-free mojito or simple skinny margarita. Unlike you can either use skinny or sugar-free interchangeably in that Google search bar. You can find a bunch of recipes. Use the word simple though, because there's so many recipes out there. And I was just talking to a client about this, how we we have learned how to cook and make flavorful food without like 45 spices. And yes, there is a need for that sometimes, but also like simple's okay. Simple gets us from point A to point B. The other ones, if you are looking for a seltzer, your Truly, your White Claw, and your Truly Extra are going to be lower on that calorie side, lower on that sugar side. So those are just some of my suggestions as we move into the holiday weekend and tomorrow. And honestly, is probably the day you're going to be heading to the grocery store to get your stuff for the weekend. If you're anything kind of last minute like me, we're like, I want to get my veggie tray like right up until I'm leaving. Make your list as you go to the grocery store of what type of alcohol you're going to get. Do you have a mixer that is lower in calorie? Do you have a case of water or do you have a water jug you're taking with you? Because some of you are going to be in the car and you're going to be traveling. And you may fill this up, but as soon as this is done, what's your plan? Grab a case of water, throw it in the back of the car. The other thing is those snacks, fruits, veggies. It's okay to buy pre-made bag of nuts, trail mix. Grab things that you know your body enjoys that are not just bags of chips. Because yes, bags of chips are great, but they're mindless. And if we can have fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and protein throughout our day, we're going to feel much better come the end of the day. So, with that, we're going to wrap up today's little quick training. Remember, there's going to be more on this next Thursday on next week's episode on everything you need to know about alcohol. So, with that, remember if you want to join the step challenge, drop steps. If you want to join our strength training boot camp, we've got some fun things starting, drop strength. And if you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them or send me a private message if you don't want to drop them in the comments. And if you are watching on YouTube, because it's been 30 days and that's where this recording is, make sure to drop it in the comments and check the description for anything I just talked about. So you can also jump into the Facebook community that we talk about here. So have a great 4th of July weekend, everybody. I will talk to you soon.